Hello viewers, of which I have none, and welcome to the first episode of DI Why Do I Do This to Myself?
As you can see, this is the before version of our master bed and bathroom. They're not terrible, but they are pretty bland, and I'm anti-bland. We also ripped up the carpet and found it was pretty gross, so we had to replace it.
I have started in our master bedroom. So, blank slate. Laminate flooring. Thank you, Home Depot. And the floor has officially been cleaned, all of the grout removed, and the holes filled, and mopped, carpet residue removed. And with this wall, we are going to do a plank wood, reclaimed wood wall. So we shall see what happens. And my stepdad is coming over today to help me lay the wood down. First time. I'll keep you posted. Okay, so while I'm waiting on my floor crew, hashtag stepdad, I'm working on the cabinets in the master bathroom. I have these gorgeous cabinets throughout the house. They are real wood. However, I am not hugely fond of having this color all throughout. I like the darker cabinets. Useful sanding tips. One, unless you've committed a crime and don't want fingerprints anymore, wear gloves because you'll save your skin. Two, when you get gloves, make sure they fit because this is a pain in the ass. Three, keep a small vacuum around. You're going to make a lot of mess and it's easier to clean up what you've been sanding as you go, and that way you can see through the sand that's everywhere. Four, if you'd like to remain presentable, don't wear gray or black. Bad decision.
Most important rule, of course, have a dog. You'll see behind me the standard and stained version of the cabinets, and of course, plans change.
I originally had actually stained these cabinets, sanded them down and stained them, and I didn't like the way that it turned out or the way that it looked. It just wasn't quite right. So I decided to paint them. There are a lot of people who are anti-painted wood, but I think it's lovely. So I decided that I'm going to go ahead and paint them with a chalk paint and then do an antiquing on it, which is what we're kind of going over today. I already painted them with a chalk paint. Let me reverse this. And I've already started the antiquing. So this is what the finished product looked like. It's not really finished because I still want to put a coat of polyurethane on it, but I think that these came out just perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. So this is the unantiqued section right here, and I'm going to just show you really quick how I am doing this. It's very simple, and I'm using the same color paint that I have on the rest of the master bedroom walls. So that kind of ties it in really well. And then this is the chalk paint. Sorry, it's kind of dirty. But I just got a white chalk paint and I chose the color. They color matched it for me. And then, okay, so I have two sponges. One to apply a very small amount of paint and the other one to rub it in. So all we do really is concentrate on the edges. You're not going to do any of the rest of it. It's just the edges, and that gives a nice little subtle antique look to it. And the good thing about paint, of course, is that if you make a mistake, you can just fix it. Okay, so I applied a small amount, and I get the other brush, and I just rub it in. And like I said, I'm trying just to do the edges, so I'm trying to avoid the inner parts here. And then I'll do the edge here, but I'll avoid kind of the middle section. And you need a very, very small amount of paint, and you're going to touch it very lightly. Okay, and it's all the edges. So I got that part, and then we'll get the inner edges here. And you want to kind of rub it in as soon as you put it on there, because if it dries, then you're not going to get that. It's not going to blend as well. And then you're going to get the outer edge too. And like I said, don't worry if you make a mistake, because it is paint. You can fix it. So this makes him look nice and old and flawed, just like me, old and flawed. But I'm good with it. Not professional by any means, but it gets the job done. Okay, so you have your basic antiquing. And then with pieces like here, you see I got a little bit here, and it looks kind of uneven in some parts. So I just take my chalk paint, which is already kind of on my brush, and I, go back over. I get the edge, and just kind of apply it here and there to give me more of the look that I'm going for. And do that to the whole thing. Every single cabinet, every single drawer. And then once we are done, I will put a coat of polyurethane, because I like kind of shinier cabinets. I think they have a satin polyurethane. I'm not sure if they have a matte finish polyurethane, but if you like stuff that's not as shiny, you can choose a different polyurethane. There's also wax, which is most commonly used with chalk paint. I have not actually used the wax before, because I haven't done that many things with chalk paint, so we will see how it turns out.
I had intended to record laying down the floor, but I forgot. I did record it in one of the other rooms, however, so I'm just going to insert that clip here.
Now we are laying flooring, final flooring. As you can see, I've started. I'll go over a little bit with you. First thing you do is put this floor underlay. This is a pretty simple process. It comes in rolls like this. And you just lay it down on the floor. And you tape it. Some of them have adhesive on them already. It's okay if they overlap a little bit. And then you start laying your flooring down. You want to stagger your pieces. Now, if you were a professional, you would say leave a space between the floors, because you want to be able to put a transition piece. There's already this transition piece here because there was carpet in here before, so I'm trying to get the floor just flush up against it. And it seems to be working. When you're cutting your pieces, you want to make sure that you have them staggered, so you have your long piece, your middle piece, and then your short piece. And you just lay them accordingly, so long piece, middle piece, short piece, and then long piece again. And lay them all the way across the floor. So they come in boxes like this, and you have to get several boxes. The master bedroom took 13 boxes, and I have 6 boxes for this room, which is a 10 by 10, and I'm hoping it's enough. If not, I have to go back to Home Depot where I live now. So, brush this and see if you can. So it's pretty simple. Just insert it. You have to go at an angle. Make sure that it's all the way against the other one. Push it down. And these things are pretty fragile, so I use a block and a hammer to make sure they go in. I always just use the hammer on the floor. And that's it. So you see, just finish this piece. And then I'll go down here and I'll measure how long a piece I need, which is 23 inches exactly. And I'll go cut a 23-inch piece, stick it in the floor, and then start down there at the end again. This shouldn't take too long. A couple hours maybe, for a small room. The closet is going to be the hardest part because it's got, you know, notches. And we'll see what happens. Today's project is finishing the bathroom wall. One side is stone, the other side is a reclaimed wood. So I'll show you. I cheated on the reclaimed wood side. I bought these pre-made planks at Home Depot for not cheap. And I put them on the wall. The reason you see more white than the other colors is because these are the only 3 colors that they had, so I'm going to paint some of the white ones with some of the other colors that are incorporated throughout the house. That way it ties in better. But one side is going to be the planked wood and the other side is going to be the stone. I'm just working on the sides now, but I finished this part. This was just a regular wall before, and now it looks like a rock wall. So I'm doing that on both sides now, so it'll look almost like the plank wood. The plank side is going to be built into the rock wall. So I'm just adding the plaster, and this is obviously what it's going to look like when I'm done. Adding the plaster, and then I go through and shape the rock. Once that dries, there are 3 different colors, put 3 coats of paint on there, and then it'll be done. So it's very simple, and I'm gonna love the way it turns out.
Obviously, I didn't go into too much detail on how to do this plaster wall. However, I do visit that closer during my office video, so see that. And here's the final product, sans that entertainment center, which will be replaced.